Hello there, boys and girls. Welcome to our first lesson, our first reading lesson for the week of January the 5th. Sorry, I've been doing back-to-back books. I'm trying to keep my head on, screwed on straight. Okay, so if your parents got a writing book from school, I want you to grab your writing book out. You can put your name on it. We're going to be using this every day. If you don't have one, you can use paper or a notebook. Okay, so you're going to head up the same way every day. Find a blank page. On the left, you're going to write the book, the number, and the title. So the book that we're going to be doing is book number 14. It's called The Neighbor's Dog. This is actually one of my favorite stories. And then on the right-hand side, you're going to put the date. So the date for today's lesson will be Tuesday, January 5th, 2020. All right, so I'll give you a chance to write those bits of information down. At any time you can pause, just pause me, give yourself a chance to write everything down, and then we can continue. Okay, so I'm going to keep on going. So to be a good reader, you have to be able to not only decode the words, but also understand what you're reading. So for these lessons, I'm going to try to do a little bit of both, a little bit of word work and a little bit of comprehension and writing. Okay, so I want you to write the title Word Work, and then under Word Work, I want you to write the letters T and the letter D. Okay, you can pause. Okay, so we're going to be looking at some words, and these words all end in ED, so it means that it happened in the past, because when you have an ED, it means that something already happened. All of these words have a double consonant before the ED. So many times when you have a short vowel word, you might have to add a double consonant. So some of these words, the ED makes a T sound, and in some of these words, it makes a D sound. So I'm going to be writing two examples on the board to show you what I mean. Okay, let's continue on. So like I said, in some words, when you have ED, the D might make the T sound, as in stepped, or it might make the D sound, as in grabbed. So I'm going to hold up some words, and in your writing book, you should have the title Word Work, the letter T, the letter D, the word step, the word grabbed. I'm going to be holding up a word, and I want you to figure out and try to decide if it's going to go under the column where it makes a T sound or a D sound. Okay, ready? Here's the first word, wagged. So place it under one of those columns. Anytime that you need for me to slow down, just press pause. Shot. Okay. I'm trying to say it really softly because I don't want to give away the answer. Clipped. Grabbed. Okay. Alrighty. So hopefully you'll have those words on one of the columns. When I collect your books at the end of the week, I can see how you did. So remember, decoding is one part of reading, but also comprehension. Okay, so now we're working on to the comprehension part. So normally I would have a book in front of me, but I gave out all my The Neighbor's Dog, so I'm actually going to have to go to the computer to pull it up. I'm going to read a bit with you, and then you're going to read the rest on your own. Okay, so let me just get set up. All right, so now I had to move around a bit so I can be near my computer so I can pull up The Neighbor's Dog. So pull up your copy of The Neighbor's Dog, and as we're reading, I'm going to read a bit with you, then you're going to read the rest on your own. I want you to think about the way that the author is describing the characters. So you can tell a lot about a person, even in real life, by what they say, what they do, and what other people say about them. So I want you to think about the two girls in this story, okay, Angie and Caroline, I believe their names are. And I want you to think about how they act, what they say, okay, as we're reading. And in this story, there is a dog. Caroline is new to the neighborhood, and Angie goes over to meet her to be a polite neighbor. And they see this dog that has very, very bad manners. Either girl doesn't say anything about this dog's bad behavior. So as we're reading, I want you to think about, why do you think they didn't say anything about this dog's bad behavior? Okay, because that tells us a bit about their characters by what they do, what they say, and what they don't say. All right, so you can open up your book to page 2 and 3. And I'm going to read a few pages with you, and then you're going to read the rest on your own. Okay? All right, so starting at page 2. We have new neighbors, said Caroline's mom, and you can read with me, boys and girls. She looked happy. They have a girl your age, she said. Isn't that wonderful, Caroline? You have a friend right next door. Uh-huh, Caroline said. She hoped the new girl wasn't a dork. She knew her mom would make them get together. And she did. That same day, Mom put a plate of cookies in Caroline's hands. Take these next door, she said, and be polite. What does that word polite mean? If you're polite, what does that mean? Okay, turn over to page 4. Caroline took the cookies next door. A dog was sitting on the porch. He was big, ugly, and very, very dirty. Clumps of mud and muck hung off his fur, and he smelled bad. Caroline stepped past him and rang the doorbell. A girl opened the door. She looked okay. Hi, Caroline said. I'm Caroline from next door. Hi, I'm Angie, the girl said. She opened the door wider, and Caroline went in. So did the dog. He barked and flung himself at Angie. She went down hard, right on her backside. Caroline expected Angie to yell at the dog, but she didn't. She just sat there looking surprised. Okay, I'll read 2 more pages with you, boys and girls, and then you're on your own. Turn over to page 6. The dog ran all around the living room. Then he jumped up on the pretty pale blue sofa. He chased his tail. Then he flopped down on his back and rolled around. Soon the sofa was blue with big brown spots and smears. So boys and girls, if a dog came into your house and jumped all over your sofa and put its muddy paws all over the place, what would you do? Caroline expected Angie to call the dog off, but Angie just stood there, staring at him. Okay, so I want you to pause right here. You're going to read the rest of the story to yourself, and then I want you to do a writing prompt. Okay, boys and girls, so you should have completed the story, The Neighbor's Dog, and we're going to be working on a little bit of comprehension. So remember, I asked you to think about characters' motives, why characters do the things that they do. So think about how Caroline and Angie were acting in the story. Here's a dog, a dirty, nasty, filthy, mucky dog, jumping all over the house, eating food, making a mess, but none of the girls said a thing. So this is your writing prompt. I want you to think about why they didn't say anything. So this is your writing prompt. I want you to write the title Writing. And then I want you to write this question. Why didn't Angie or Caroline complain about the dog? Okay, so you can pause this to continue writing. Why didn't Angie or Caroline complain about the dog? Okay. So anytime I give you word work or a writing prompt, I want you to complete it in your writing book. And at the end of the week, I would want to collect your book so I can see how you're making out and I can actually give you feedback and comments. Maybe even treats for those who do a good job. Why not? All right, so I miss you guys. Hopefully we'll be back in school next week so we can do this one-on-one so we can have some interaction. It's not as much fun this way, but we'll still get a little bit of learning done over this next week. Okay, so until next time, bye.